Hello, I'm Pam of HealingStars.com. This is the chart for the full moon, 27th of October. It's set for London, but I'm using whole signs as houses to hopefully make it clearer for you. The sun has just moved into Scorpio about just over 3 days ago, and here it is in Scorpio, that turquoise sector. A full moon means the moon is opposite the sun. So here's the sun, and right opposite, here's the moon in the coral sector, Taurus. This happens every year. Scorpio is opposite Taurus. And at this time, we look always at a full moon, we look for the rulers of the sun and the ruler of the moon. The ruler of the sun is Scorpio. There's two rulers. The traditional ruler is Mars. Here it is up here in Virgo at 20 degrees. And the newer ruler is Pluto. And here it is at 13 of Capricorn. It's been holding that degree for quite a while, doesn't it? It moves so slowly, Pluto. So I'm now going towards thinking of Mars as the ruler of Scorpio. The ruler of Taurus is Venus. So the moon in Taurus is governed in turn by Venus. And lo and behold, here they are together in the sky at this time. Mars, Venus and Jupiter are all very, very close. And they rise just after dawn in the east. Everything rises in the east and sets in the west. So if you're a real early bird, you can get up and you can see them. Now at a full moon, everything is brought to light. That's the whole nature of a full moon, that we see that beautiful full moon in the sky. This one is the third of a series of supermoons, which means basically it looks larger than the other moons in the year, the other full moons. It's also called a hunter's moon. Now that just is a name, it doesn't actually really mean anything, but it's quite nice to call it something. A supermoon, according to Stephanie Austin, an esteemed astrologer, increases emotional volatility and also increases larger shifts of consciousness. Both can be good or not so good. Scorpio is an emotional water sign. Therefore, it's always going to have connections to emotions. It goes deep under the surface. It's classically the detective of the zodiac and lots of research and investigation. I am a Scorpio and I concur with that. But Scorpio, remember, is also 3 signs. It's the insect, the scorpion, but also the eagle, the bird of vision, and then ultimately the phoenix that rises from the ashes. That could also be the dove. So it's a complex sign. It's not an easy understood sign. The Taurus moon is actually, that's when the moon is exalted, whenever the moon is in Taurus. So this means it acts favourably. And you can see that because it's governed by Venus, the planet of love, of relationships. Now a full moon always reveals what's hidden, what's in the dark. And last month, of course, we had a lunar eclipse. So this is now a clear slate. A lunar eclipse lasts for just a month. What are we looking at? Well, Scorpio's renowned for the shadow. And when there is a shadow, all we need to do is shine a light in the dark. And there is a very, very good trine, a flow of energy between Pluto, here it is in Capricorn, and you see the blue line, that's a trine. And it's just past it, but it's still there with Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefic. Jupiter always brings grace. It brings generosity. It blesses. It's our good luck charm, if you like, our lucky planet. So this is a very good connection at this time. The shadow with Scorpio can be trust issues, can be addiction to drama, addiction to the dark. It's nightclubs of Scorpio, hanging around in dark places. But also, we might not be a Scorpio, but you will have Pluto in your chart somewhere. And Pluto is to do with buried power, god of the underworld. So it is where we can face those demons, those addictions. It's also, remember, Pluto is to do with transformation or transmutation, the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. The shaman is also connected. And that's also something else, that Venus is very strong at this time, opposite Chiron. Chiron in Pisces, exactly opposite at this full moon. Chiron, the archetype of the wounded healer, but with Venus coming in, there is compassion and self-love. The problem with Virgo is it can be super critical, perfectionist. Every tiny detail is Virgo. And the opposite sign of Pisces is very much to do with the big picture, very much to do with the ocean, to do with oneness and that divine connection. Venus, there's been Venus and Mars are together. They're slightly separate at the moment, but they have been together 3 times this year. February 21st, August 31st, and they will also join on November the 2nd. That's the sacred union of the feminine and the masculine. The other connection that's going on at the moment is Venus with Jupiter. That was on 3 times this year again, July the 1st, August the 4th, October 25th, so just the weekend. It's going to stay Venus stays very close to Jupiter right up until November the 6th. Now, Venus is all about sweet things. In the UK, there's just been a little controversy about taxing sugar. Venus is sugar. Okay, it hasn't got any credence, but it's very much to do with Venus's energy. Venus and Jupiter together can be great generosity, creativity, it's romance, it's the big picture, wonderful. But also there can be, for all of us, a tendency at this time to overspend, to overestimate and be over-optimistic. That's the thing with Jupiter. It expands, it enlarges. So just be a little cautious with Virgo energy. It's normally quite good with that, but just to be aware of that. So self-love, Venus and Mars, both important to honour the masculine within us, the feminine within us. They are each and every one, doesn't matter what our gender is. And also Mercury, I'm looking at Mercury at the moment, Mercury is still in opposition to Uranus. That can bring in great ideas. All oppositions mean to bring together, to unify, to integrate the tensions of 2 opposites, not to see them as separate. And to remember that old cliche, and it's so true, opposites attract. So to use that quality of attraction, and I'm going to leave that note, but the Sun is also exactly at the same degree as Saturn. See the little dotted blue line? That's very, very good. That's called a semi-sextile. So Saturn can ground. Saturn can manifest. Saturn is very much to do with the physical plane for, in inverted commas, reality. So I bid you a happy, very happy full moon tomorrow in Taurus. Pam Carruthers at healingstars.com. Sign up for my free webinars. People really enjoy them and I'd love to meet you.